Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for September 3rd, 2025. We've got hinterlands and corn guilds today, but mostly hinterlands. Although Hamlet is a pretty important addition as a cheap village, I think. So we've got a 5-2. We can open Margrave. That seems good. But let's look a little bit more at the board. Trashing, Spice Merchant, and Develop. I guess I can imagine that it's better to be able to open with both of these, since Develop is the only estate trashing, and then Spice Merchant is your copper trasher. Perhaps. Draw-wise, Margrave and Witch's Hut. Yeah, I mean, getting to open with Margrave is generally pretty good. Hand size attack is good, and draw is good, and you get the plus buy and all that stuff. Plus actions from Inn and Hamlet. Both of them are hand size reducing to give you those actions. So the draw here is going to be a little bit of a struggle. Margrave Inn and Margrave Hamlet do increase hand size by 1 net. Witch's Hut doesn't increase hand size at all. Really, we need trail on this board. There's so much trail synergy here. Cartographer in Margrave, Wheelwright, Witch's Hut, Hamlet, and Develop all have trail synergy. So where's trail at? Anyway. Yeah, but that's our plus actions. And then plus buy, I mean, Spice Merchant gives you plus buy, but it's not net gains. Wheelwright can gain you action cards. Margrave gives you actual plus buy. Nomads gives you actual plus buy. And then Develop does gain you cards. It trashes a card, but it gains 2 cards. Off the top of my head, I don't see any super obviously strong Develop stuff. I guess Nomads... Develop Nomads, you do get some extra money, and there is other, like, I've definitely played boards before where you have that, but then it's like hard to take advantage of it because the Nomads itself is the only plus buy, but that's not the case here, so I could see that coming into play. But otherwise... Develop is also going to be the only curse trashing if we do end up playing with Witch's Hut. I think it's going to be a tall order to do much with Witch's Hut here because of the aforementioned, like, fact that Witch's Hut is not really draw here in conjunction with the plus actions. But maybe. We're going to want a lot of Margraves. This is going to be one of those games where you pretty much get the 3-card starting hand that you want because you're going to get Margraved quite a number of times. So, overall... How big can we expect to build here? I mean, Wheelwright definitely helps, right? We can use that to gain additional Margraves, Inns potentially, maybe even Cartographers. So like that, you know, like we don't have to do it all with money, which is nice. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I guess we'll just get started and see how things progress. Unfortunately, we did not see our Margrave turn 3, which would have been really nice. But... okay, so... now the question is going to be... we have a 1 in 3, or sorry, 2 in... we discard an estate here. We have a 2 in 7 chance of drawing our Spice Merchant. But I guess if we don't draw it, then we'll have like a nice clean, like we get to play the Spice Merchant and trash and we don't have to trigger the shuffle if we don't want to situation. And if we have a bunch of estates with the Spice Merchant, then we can trigger the shuffle and make the estates miss. So that's probably all good. Five again. Interesting. I do want that develop. Huh. Do we just go develop Hamlet? So down there we have Spice Merchant, 2 estates, 2 coppers. If we just coin trash a Spice Merchant, we could take like a develop off of that. The thing we could do is go Nomads develop. That's interesting. Because developing the Nomads is definitely not bad. The other thing we could do is just take another Margrave. We know we're going to want that anyway. I mean, we have the Spice Merchant. Getting the develop is probably not the most important thing in the world. Maybe taking another Margrave is better. Getting the develop specifically into our next shuffle, I guess, is what I mean. I think I'm going to go with that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a develop. We're going to end up triggering a shuffle, and then that shuffle is only going to have the develop as the terminal. So even though that was pretty unfortunate. I think we just take another Hamlet. Like, we could... Now we see both of our Margraves. I mean, we do have the Spice Merchant down there to trigger the shuffle, but this is a little bit annoying. Like, we could take a shop, but we're probably going to take shops off of develop anyway, and off of developing estates, I mean, and, like, we don't want a million shops. We can't really have too many Hamlets. Okay, I guess we don't see the Hamlet. Gotta be kidding me. Come on, I have 3 Hamlets. Ugh. Alright, no Margrave down there. We have multiple Hamlets that we'll trigger a shuffle with. We also have a develop. We could just take another Margrave. We could also get a wheelwright. I think wheelwright might be a little premature right now. I mean, if we granted, if we had seen this Hamlet and then the Margrave, we'd have almost drawn our deck here, but Oh, the bot's probably going to Margrave us into triggering the shuffle before... that, okay, actually is a good reason to take another Margrave. Well, they didn't do it, as it turns out. Okay. I guess we discard copper. I want to... We do have another estate down there, right? And we're almost guaranteed to see it at this point. Maybe we are guaranteed to see it because we have another hamlet. Okay. Although that being said, we could... No, that doesn't work. I wanted to go like play the shop, right? But I don't think that I'm going to gain with the development. I don't think there's a good way to do that. Okay, so now we can discard for action. Do we just top deck the shop? Because if we shop the develop, we don't have the actions to play the Margrave and then play the shop. Yeah, I guess we just top deck it. Top decking a shop isn't great, but it's fine. It's a little annoying that it, like, the sequencing worked out this way. Maybe top decking, maybe it's better to not top deck it. I mean, there's some advantages and there's some disadvantages. I think I'm gonna top deck it. All right, so now we either want an inn or a wheelwright. I think, like, right now we have, assuming we don't bottom deck our shops, we have the actions to play the stuff in our deck. So I think I prefer wheelwright. We still have this issue that, like, the bot is going to Margrave us at some point. But we did overdraw this turn, and we trashed a couple cards, so... I guess we'll keep the shop. Go for Witch's Hut. Dang it. It's kind of this, like... Getting the shop play in is really pretty similar to getting the hamlet play. I think I'm going to discard the hamlet. It's definitely a bit of a risk. Okay, so now what we can do is wheelwright the Margrave to gain an inn, and then shuffle them both back in. And the fact that we didn't draw into them isn't really very important. All right, 3 shops. Yeah, it's kind of a lot. So now the question, but I mean, it's fine. So now the question is, I think our next goal with the wheelwright is going to be actually to gain a nomads that we can then develop. Now we're going to have like 4 shops, or we take a silver, which is a little bit awkward. But I think I'd rather just go ahead and get 2 more hamlets than get another nomads. Just really make sure we have plenty of actions in our deck. I think we do it like this. Discarding in. Well, we do have plenty of hamlets. I guess it's fine. Yeah, so we could like discard the Spice Merchant to gain a nomads. I think I like that. Don't be fooled, the shop can only play develop. Do we want an action? I don't think we need an action unless we want to play something with our develop. Or sorry, that we develop into. So we shop, if we take an action, we shop, developing the nomads into Margrave or Witch's Hut and silver, probably. I mean, getting another shop is... I mean, I guess we could shop the Spice Merchant. It's just at some point, like, we're going to have too many shops. We can always start developing shops, but I think it might be better to just take silver at this point. Okay, I think I want to take an action then. So... I'm gonna take a silver. The other thing we could do... rather than draw anything here, we could get like a Margrave or a Witch's Hut and the silver and just leave them on top, figuring, well, we're going to get Margrave attacked, so we can discard the silver. And then we just Spice Merchant for coins buy. The disadvantage to that is that if we specifically want a Margrave, I guess we probably do want a Margrave, right? And then we get the money from the silver and these 2 coins, which is better. Okay, yeah, let's do that. All right. We could keep wheelwrighting for nomads rather than buying nomads. Do we want a gold? We could go like gold plus a 5. Even though we have another Margrave, like maybe we want one more in. We could also just take 3 hamlets. Maybe that's better. It's a lot of actions. Potential for actions anyway. How many hamlets do we have? Like 3, 4, 5. We have 5 Hamlets, and the bot has 2. Yeah, we can also just force the bot to play with expensive plus actions, which is kind of nice. You know what? Sure. Wait, I can't math. We're gonna buy 3 Hamlets, and we get a 5. Or we could get a Nomads, a couple Hamlets. We should do that. All right, what 5 do we want then? Getting yet another Margrave seems a little bit like overkill, to be honest. You get on our wheelwright. Yeah, let's do that. A little early in the turn for the wheelwright. I guess the bot only does have the 1 Margrave. I guess I'm not discarding for actions so that we can shop the inn. We got 2 of our shops going. All right. Do we want to wheelwright a Margrave? Probably not yet, at least. Okay, now, well, we could wheelwright the wheelwright. Thinking. Also, wheelwright the Spice Merchant if we just want to take another Nomads. Sure. We still have our Spice Merchant down there. That's annoying. So, like, if we take silver. I mean, I guess what we could do, rather than actually playing the Spice Merchant, is take a Witch's Hut and then, what is this other card? I think it might be another Hamlet. We have a lot of Hamlets. We've played all 3 of our shops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's not a Hamlet. Oh, it's the other Nomads. Okay. So if we're okay with not playing that, We could take a witch's hut and like get a curse in. I don't know how much I care about that really. Be nice to continue to trash coppers. Coppers are not great. I guess we could also just take an inn. We take silver in. We can choose. I don't think we can choose not to have the card shuffled, which means we could end up top decking just like the nomads and our turn stops. That's annoying. Gain a card onto your deck, so it gets gained onto the deck first, and then we reveal any number of action cards from our discard pile and shuffle them in, and that's what means these 4 cards get shuffled. So even if we top deck like in shop, we could just like play wheelwright and then draw nomads, and then we have in shop spice merchant on top. It's pretty annoying. What if we just go like shop, like cartographer shop? Then like we don't get to do anything interesting with the wheelwright, but that's okay, I guess. I mean, we could discard silver to gain a hamlet. We play the shop, play the cartographer. We still might draw into nomads rather than spice merchant. So we just cost ourselves the 2 coins that we could just spend on the hamlet anyway, but maybe we want to spend them on something else. I don't think it makes sense. However, if we draw the spice merchant with the cartographer, then we could draw the silver back up. We'd have to discard a copper. Like, we'd have silver. Or no, we wouldn't, because we'd have the hamlet on our discard. So if we, yeah, actually, that is probably worth it. Because if we've got a 50-50 chance that we just get an extra 2 coins out of it, and a 50-50 chance that we've spent 2 coins on a hamlet, which is like fine. So I think I will do that. And it worked out. I guess we can just discard the hamlet. We don't need it. Okay, that was a lot of complexity to accomplish. Not really that much, but yeah. Well, I think we won the hamlet split. I mean, honestly, we're probably at the point where we could just start provincing. And one advantage to that is that it gives us a wheelwright card, and it's like something to discard with all of our discard crap. I'm just not really sure what we do with the other 4 coins. If it was 5 coins, it'd be a little easier. Maybe we could buy 2 nomads. That seems like a lot of nomads, though. It's really too bad there's not like a better 3-cost card to gain when you're developing nomads. If there was like Village or something, man, that would go off. But whatever. I think I'm just gonna do it. It's a little bit of a risk, but we're pretty far ahead anyway, so just played Terminal Margrave. We probably don't need that many hamlets. There is some advantage to not seeing them all and then like not knowing what to do with them. So discard one of them. Is that correct? I don't know. Let's discard this hamlet. This hamlet. I'm trying to save the inn to pair with another shop. We already discarded the Spice Merchant, right? Yeah. We could shop the nomads. Let's wait on that. We want to gain yet another nomads. Is there any possibility that we could win this turn? We have 2 wheelwrights to gain nomads. We could develop into nomads, though not easily. Like the win would be either on nomads shops or on nomads and estates. I guess developing nomads into shops would advance that goal. So we gain 2 nomads, they're at 3. We only have the 1 developed though. Yeah, it's all just like a little bit awkward. Alternatively, we just discard this province and gain like 5 cost. I think I'm gonna do that. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind having a Witch's Hut in the deck at this point. We've got some extraneous hamlets and extraneous nomads that we could potentially discard mid-turn, even if we can't do it this turn. We have played all of our Margraves. We're probably not getting back around to that. Too many nomads. I don't think I want to gain another one, really. Well, I could gain a shop. Again, there's the risk of having too many of them, but it does lower piles in a way that is favorable to us. Let's do it. I want to see my Spice Merchant. So we shop the Spice Merchant. We still don't have the actions to play both of these nomads, so I guess we might as well do this. I'm not actually sure at this point what else is down there, but... Oh, the develop, right. Okay, so now what can we do with develop nomads? We could actually do the in thing now, and it might be a little bit better. What is that last card? How many Hamlets have we played? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7. We must have discarded a Hamlet after shuffling? No, wait, the bot has 8. No, so that is a Hamlet. Okay, okay. So we don't have any stop cards except the ones that we choose to put over here, which means we could do a thing. Okay. So I think that means shop in, we shuffle in, shop in Witch's Hut. Maybe it's... Guess we should discard the silver for action, because if we shop into the Witch's Hut... Oh. You know, I didn't anticipate this. This is what I mean about too many shops. Oh, well, whatever. We're trying to do things. It's hard. All right, let's shop the inn. We have multiple easy discard choices here. We want to play the Witch's Hut now. It's really not important that we give out a curse. But I guess we might as well. I mean, well, in this case, we have no choice. I think I'm... Like, we're getting closer to being able to do something here. I guess I hadn't been considering using Wheelwright to gain another develop. Which... The problem is develop can't gain both of these at the same time, so it's not really that efficient anyway. I think I'm just going to gain the nomads. The Spice Merchant is ready to go. I'm going to worry about that later in the turn, though. So deceptive. The shop has the plus sign on it, but it can't play Hamlet. Like, so it's still terminal. This is one of those cases where I think this could mislead you into doing something you shouldn't, where if it didn't have this icon, you would be less likely to do that. I wonder if we should actually take another Margrave. Like, our draw is getting worse. Why not? Shop the Cartographer. That's nice. I think I'm just gonna discard this stuff for now. Well, no. We got 2 Margraves here to draw stuff up. Nah, let's just leave it. All right, now we've played all 5 of our Margraves. And our Witch's Hut, so... I was going to develop the Nomads. I kind of forgot about the Spice Merchant. Spice Merchant is definitely useless. There's also still the question of whether we can actually win the game. I still feel like the answer is probably no. It's just like we're annoyingly slow to actually get these cards because of how like limited the draw is. If we're not trying to win, we should develop the Spice Merchant. If we're not trying to win this turn, I mean. Unless we want to like trash the silver, we just get it out of the way. That's actually not even unreasonable, I think. We can shop the Spice Merchant. What else do we want? We know another Witch's Hut? So it could just be another Margrave too. If we're going to trigger a shuffle, the Witch's Hut is going to draw more of the junk out of the way. There's also just be a cartographer. I don't know. Oh wait, we have like hamlets down there, right? Well, we have 2 provinces and a hamlet. All right, I think Witch's Hut then. We can shop the Nomads and then we don't give out a curse. Or we could not play... Wait, no, we can Witch's Hut, we discard Nomads, shop, we play Hamlet, and at worst we don't get to play the shop, but we might get to. Yeah. We have 2 Nomads. Oh. Even better. Somehow this worked out pretty nicely. Certainly not through no fault of my own. All right, now can we win? Surely we can, actually. Yeah, well, it wasn't actually by that much, but okay. Yeah, so I guess it was better to have the 5-2, surprise, surprise. I wasn't like 100% sure it would be. But I think more so it's the case that the bot, like, well, So on the one hand, it was getting hit by Margrave early and often in a way that I'm sure hindered it. On the other hand, it has 3 golds and an inn and a Witch's Hut and then just 1 Margrave, which seems wrong. I noticed when it took the inn, was like, I don't know about that. Like, why isn't that a Margrave? I don't think I said anything about it, but I like, that's weird. So turn 3, it gains a shop. I think this should be a Hamlet for the same reasons that I was talking about. Like, the bot had a develop in its deck. It ended up with 2 Hamlets, which is not a lot. But it had a develop in its deck, so it's going to turn like the estates into shops anyway. And you don't want like super many shops, even though, well, maybe I had 9 shops by the end of the game, but but I did buy like 4 of those at the end, I think, or something. I don't know. Anyway, or maybe it was actually, did I buy? I only bought 2 shops, so I had 7. But I gained a couple of those towards the end. I don't know. We were making it work, but you definitely don't want 1,000,000 shops at the beginning of the game. And I didn't really want 1,000,000 shops. It's just I kind of had to take them. But anyway, the point is, yeah, I think this should be a Hamlet. But okay, fine, whatever. And then they take a silver here rather than a shop. There is, like, when you haven't hit 5 yet, there's definitely an argument for that. I don't have a strong enough opinion there. Like, you want to hit 5, you want to get Margrave. You know, if you get Margraved, that's going to be hard, and silver is generally going to be better than shop, because shop can draw a state or it can draw a develop, but silver is just giving you the money. On the other hand, shop is going to help you find your Spice Merchant, your develop, which are good and relevant cards that you want to see. So, and then certainly in the long run, like, I think shop is going to be a better card in your deck than silver. So I could go either way on that one. Okay, but then they do hit the Margrave here. Maybe they wouldn't have if they had had a shop. Who can say? Then they just get a Hamlet and develop a copper. Developing a copper is pretty sad, I will say. Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. They just drew an estate. Oh, they discarded it. Oh, but they have... Okay, shop, 3 copper, estate. They draw a copper, and then they discard estate, 2 copper. So at this point, they didn't have... Because they drew this into the Spice Merchant, and then drew into the develop. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. I mean... I'm not saying they shouldn't have developed the copper. I'm just saying it's rough. And then they get another silver. Yeah. This is looking worse at this point. You only have 1 estate left. Yeah, and then here... So they already have 2 Hamlets in their deck. And they buy an inn rather than a second Margrave. I don't really like this. I mean, certainly, like, there's... Well, I guess it would depend... Okay, yeah, so... if their Margrave was in their discard pile at this point... Which it... Wait a minute. I was wondering why I didn't get Margrave. They chose to play Develop over playing Margrave. That does not seem correct either. You gotta attack. But I was wondering why it took so long before the bot Margraved me. Anyway, if their Margrave... Wait, no, their Margrave should have been in their discard pile. Because they didn't play... They drew it. They didn't play it. Drew some cards, didn't shuffle. Oh, here's the shuffle. Okay. Oh, and so maybe they got the in because they had the Margrave coming up, but they didn't have any Hamlets. I guess the question is, does that matter? Like, are you at a point in your shuffle where that matters? I don't know. I just really want a second Margrave. But maybe that does make sense after all. I'm not sure. And then here... Here they get... No, this I'm very confident. Like, I did end up gaining some Witches' Huts because I was like, I don't know. Like, I can do cursing and I'm at the end of the shuffle and, like, having the extra... Like, I don't really need the draw per se, but having the extra, like, sifting might be good for, not top decking bad cards or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, like, honestly, like, if I had never taken a Witch's Hut, that would have been totally fine. And in any case, like, for sure, second Margrave is better than first Witch's Hut. Like, there's just, like, no question about that to me. So, but in fairness, by this point, the bot was already way behind. I was already playing 3 Margraves. I took a Wheelwright. Like, yeah. So, I mean, and then they started buying golds, and yeah, I mean, maybe nothing the bot really did mattered because I was player 1 and I got to open Margrave, and you know, they were just not gonna be able to build like a good deck in the face of that like fast enough. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.